Hi, welcome to episode 3, day-to-day living costs, food and groceries. Some of it self-explanatory, some of it's we are going to have a discussion about this. Groceries including your food, your beverages, that, you've never been able to do that. They do have on this no list meal delivery platforms where the food and ingredient component can be separately identified from the meal preparation and delivery components are not included in the paragraph. And I think there's a lot of people that have some confusion, and there's some organisations that don't have the ability to do the 70-30. Are they going to be happy with just the 70-30 breakdown, or are they going to want providers to list all the ingredients and the cost of the ingredients?
It's typical sort of government rush though, in terms of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. In some of these decisions, I've actually heard from participants that have been quite innovative in trying to meet their needs, that they're unable to, say, cook for themselves and require groceries and meal delivery to book a support worker to go out and do 2 hours of shopping, which would generally be a minimum shift, because sometimes providers can't find a backup shift. That's 2 hours of support. Now, current rate, that's about 67.23?
67.56, is it?
56, oh,
yeah.
wow.
Very good.
You can tell we've got autistics in the group. Now, you times that by 2, you're looking at over $130 just to go and grab the groceries. Now, say if you were to look at a subscription with Woolworths for delivery now or the like, that might be a $15 membership for the month.
Yeah.
So the government's literally, if you were to think about that support worker doing that once a week, what's that? Do 60, over $520 versus $15.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great work.
It's crazy. Yeah, but as long as people know, they can still. You can still get your light and easy or your
absolutely.
As long as
able foods that they do it.
But the existing price guide arrangement applies, so it has to be sort of replacing support work in the home or be considered within the plan. You can't just go out and buy.
Yes, and it's your 70 in your 70-30, but it does just come from core supports.
Yes.
Yes. And there's a lot of people say, because it used to have to be stated in your plan. You used to have to get a quote.
Yeah.
And then they changed it. But as long as it's mentioned in your plan
as
somewhere.
long as it's mentioned, that's right, that there's been funding allocated for meal prep and delivery. So that can be as a support worker hourly rate, and sometimes you might choose to forego that and use a meal delivery service, and that's absolutely fine.
So I'm going to say I'm not sponsored or anything for these recommendations, but I saw an email from Rebecca Falkian where she was explaining to a participant some of the complexities of this, and the participant actually provided 2 invoices as a example to see what's in and out. One was, I think, for Mushel Chef or something, and they actually broke down how much is the food component, how much is the preparation component, and how much is the actual delivery. And then the other was a local burger joint, and it just had the total cost. There was no mention of delivery in that instance, but burger joint completely out because it's just, there's no explanation of what goes where. One thing I would like clarification on though is actual delivery of meal prep. So if the preparation component isn't stated, is the participant able to actually get that food delivered? It's say Menulog or DoorDash. They also have subscriptions where for a pretty low amount, maybe $20 a month, they've got access to a whole platform of different restaurants that replaces the need for a support worker to come in and Cool.
Yeah, and they pay for the actual food
For
they're
the actual
purchasing,
food,
but
so
the delivery,
just
which
whether
makes
they-
sense.
Yep.
And is better value,
value
for
for
money.
money.
Yeah.
Now, some people might
Substitution.
say, oh, but everyone uses Menulog or DoorDash today. But I'd like to know how many people actually have a subscription with them. It'd be great canvas exercise. And it's more of a necessity than a luxury in some instances, especially if you don't have access to supports or services.
Yeah, agree. Okay, well, I don't think there's anything else there to talk about that section. So thank you for joining us for episode 3.